We know that it seems that it has taken incredibly long, and it seems at times the debris of that which is coming down seems to be darkening the skies around you and looking quite ominous. The framework that was being set up to allow God, the source of all light, to personally come into all and still allow that which had been created to a point exist has been completed. Now it's only mild and light adjustments, but no, not even that. The mild and light adjustments are pretty much they're done. They're done also. Everything has been, all the framework has been placed in, and God has not just come through in that He's coming through and putting the framework and adjusting those who are calling out to Him and working in line with their divinity the quickest. He is now moved into all. Now when we say all, we want to be very clear here. God has not just come into the moving through and in the universe of the souls. He is moving through everything. In all actuality, from a perspective way of explaining this, everything outside the universe of the souls is being realigned to divinity at a quicker, more easy pace, though there are still issues that have to be realigned. There are still filaments and webbings that have infected, that are needing to be cleaned out and cleared out. But it is being done completely and thoroughly. Those beings God has of Himself created and given individuality to, who have willfully chosen a path of cruelty, and I need the word for that. They're predatory type behavior. No, but not behavior. Because, okay, let me explain this very important thing. Yes. It is not the actions that are being looked at or addressed. It is the actual being, the actual, that which is of light and divine, which is exists, and how it is moving and how it exists. It is, she describes, and it is fairly accurate, that it is like for souls, they are like gyroscopes of light, moving and flowing and interacting. You may even explain it something the way your scientists have described atoms with electrons moving to and fro, and this is similar to the way souls are seen. But all creations, which are created of God, have that God spark, you would call it. How that God spark has grown, matured, expressed, become. That is what God is seeing. We are seeing of the divine. That's how we see everything in the divine. We are not looking at what you would see from the physical standpoint, a action, and then looking backwards to understand why they did it. We are seeing the core of the soul and their divinity as it exists and how it's moving and its state. And then that state will create actions. So, but we are looking not at that. We are looking at the spark, the divinity of all things. And some of those are very, it is not so much even a distortion as a rotting. They have created a living rot in their divinity. And they are choosing the living rot. They are holding to defending, keeping, and in fact trying to spread their living rot throughout. When the living rot is seen, and it is always, even if it is just a speck, it is always seen. It like jumps out, shoots out. It's like completely obvious. When it is seen, there is a bringing in of light and transmuting and trying to heal, which can be done. But if this being that has their identity is wrapped up in and is of the living rot, then that being cannot exist when the living rot is no longer. So as this becomes clear and obvious, as God himself is moving through, everything is lit up and clear and obvious. There's no hiding spots, no little, it's like, everything is being seen and known. Those beings that are of this living rot and cannot, even as they are realigned and light is brought into, they cannot exist, are right now, not will be, right now, being pulled into the singularity and erased as beings in the all. At this exact time-space moment that she is bringing this in the all of everything, multiverse, all that exists, 8,327 of these beings are no longer are being. This is very difficult. What is the word? They are going to. They are experiencing the process of the singularity. Now, this is not just within the universe of the souls. This is in the all of everything. In the universe of the souls, 4,337 at this exact point are experiencing this singularity. This is as God is moving through. And let's just explain. She has spoken before of the Habub, the God Habub moving through. And before she had said that it was on the horizon, he was here. And it was a building of a storm. But a light storm, a love storm, a wonderful storm. It is a great thing that is happening. It is not a destructive, fearful thing unless you are of that dark rot. Then there is a fearfulness. There is a fearfulness. But the light Habub of God that is here, the storm is already of the Habub, is already light, is already pouring in and feeling it. You are experiencing your divinity being realigned. It is already realigning. Even those who are not actively aware, everything, the realignment is occurring. Everything. It is in the universe of the soul. It is at a 50%, a realignment of the distortions. You're halfway there to the realignment of your divinity. Now, I want to be very clear here. This does not mean that from your experience, everything is going to be raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens. Everything warm and fluffy and fantastic, and everything is going to melt away and be perfect. No, it is truly is. It is. You're halfway to perfection, but you do not know what perfection is. And so you will see. What I said, this realignment must and will occur. It cannot not occur. because that is what God has decided, and that is what is happening, and that is what He is doing, while still allowing everything that has been created to remain created. It's very complicated and very loving that He is doing this in this manner. It would have been so much easier just to pull everything in, clean it all out, and then just think of it like this. Imagine an old house that has got rats in it, and squirrels have chewed in at the attic, and raccoons have lived in it, and some drug addicts have been in there, and the house smells of urine and feces, and it was a beautiful house at one time, but it has been abandoned, and it is just looks really bad. There are many who will look at this house and say, this is too far gone. We just need to tear it down, clear the land, get rid of everything here, and then build a brand new house. And it would have been easier that way, to just tear down the universe of the souls, the entire universe. Just tear it all down and rebuild it. But that is not what God decided to do. He says, no, there is so much beauty that can be here. I can see the beauty. I can see the bones. I can see yes. So He has come in specialties with artisans and love, and mended the rotten places and shored up the weak places. And if there's a chunk missing here or something there, He is not just taking it out and then just putting something boring or plain there. If there's plaster that has chipped or broken, He is bringing it back to its original beauty, and sometimes even beyond the original beauty. He is doing the hard work. Now, when you are doing this, there are points when it seems like you've bitten off more than you can chew, and that it's actually worse and you're not doing it. Because if you have an area that, say, had a lot of feces in it, and you're going to go in there and clean it up, you first have to gather up all the feces, and then all of a sudden you find yourself with a big pile of feces, and it stinks and it's gross, and you're like, ah! So you have to clean it up, get rid of it. And then you have to get the smell out, and you have to clean deep. You can't just cover it over. You have to clean deep, because if you try to cover it over, when it gets hot, when it gets stink, the smell will still come through. You've got to do it thoroughly and seriously, and the things that have been permeated must be removed and fresh, new put in. And this is what God is doing. This is what He's doing. And as He is at this point, He is 50% complete in the universe of the souls to realigning and bringing this house back to His glory. Now, to some it may still seem very, very, very far off, because we are not at the point of dealing with all the decorative bits. There's still a lot of foundation. There's still a lot of framework that has to be realigned. And it could look messy, and it could look dangerous. And you kept me saying, why are we going through all this? But it is working. It is coming together. It is coming together. It is coming together. He sees it. And we are seeing it. We are seeing His vision. Be patient. Do not fight. Be careful. Be careful of holding to ideals that you believe are important. If they start to come down, if God starts to pull them away, let Him. Because what will be replaced will be beautiful divinity. It is going to be glorious. It is going to be glorious. And we are already saying, oh, we are so glad that you saved this old beautiful house and all the wonders and intricacy and craftsmanship therein. We are glad that you saw the beauty and the love of it, and you are willing to do the extra hard work. It's going to be glorious. It's going to be wonderful. This is where you are at this time. This is where you are at this time. Just let it continue to unfold. You cannot imagine the final project, because just wait and actually see it. Wait and actually experience it, until you can actually live there and move there and create there and be there. Just let it happen. Notice and work along with divinity as it presents itself, even if it presents itself in a way that is very different from a value that you had, your society had, your family had. If it presents itself differently, then just let it present itself differently and move from there. And do not try to recreate that which has existed in the past. Because that which has existed in the past is what's brought you to this place. It was not better. It was just more hidden and more dark. Everything is being aligned. Everything is changing. Trust the beauty and the vision and the love and the dogged determination of God. It is being